President Donald Trump meets with Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko. He is eager to receive American support as his nation struggles to defend itself against Russian aggression. Correspondent Mark Irons reports from the White House. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Lauren. The White House describes the meeting between President Trump and the Ukrainian leader as a drop-in, but the two posed for photographs in the Oval Office and made remarks after Poroshenko spent time with the vice president and top national security advisors.
It's a great honor to be with President Poroshenko of the Ukraine, a place that we've all been very much involved in.
President Trump says a lot of progress has been made in the relationship between the U.S. and Ukraine. The two leaders made no mention of Russia, but their encounter came as the Trump administration released a statement outlining sanctions on 2 Russian government officials and 38 individuals and entities over Russian activities in Ukraine. The sanctions are designed to counter attempts by the Russians to circumvent current U.S. sanctions. Niall Gardner just got back from Ukraine. He says Russia poses a big threat to the tiny former Soviet republic, and the U.S. can play a vital role.
There's only one lesson that Vladimir Putin understands, and that is strength and resolve. And you've got to demonstrate that in Europe, you've got to demonstrate it in Syria and across the Middle East as well.
President Trump is trying to strengthen ties with Moscow, but the U.S. and Russia are clashing over Syria's civil war, and tensions are high. The U.S. shot down a drone in southern Syria this morning. Russia backs the Syrian government and is threatening to retaliate against U.S. aircraft that fly in Syrian airspace. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is hopeful a conflict will be avoided.
I'm confident that we are still communicating between our Operations Center and the Russian Federation Operations Center, and I'm also confident that our forces have the capability to take care of themselves.
This month alone, the U.S. has shot down 3 aircraft affiliated with Syrian President Bashar Assad's government, 2 of them drones and 1 Syrian warplane. The U.S. shot down the 3 aircraft because they say they were seen as threats to U.S.-backed forces that are fighting ISIS in Syria. Lauren.
Mark, what can you tell us about the continuing fight against ISIS?
Well, just today, the U.S. military confirmed that a coalition airstrike on May 31st killed a top Islamic State cleric. Now, there are concerns that further confrontations between the U.S.-backed coalition and Assad regime forces could hinder the battle against ISIS. We may have more news next week. The president has been promising to hold a press conference to address the fight on ISIS. Lauren.
Correspondent Mark Irons at the White House. Thank you, Mark.